Alright, so this is your uterus. This is where the baby goes, alright? So get an idea of that. From here below would be the vagina, okay? So from here below would be the vagina, and this is your uterus, so if you remember the previous model. And your cervix would be this section right here. It's like the opening to the vagina. Opening to the uterus, sorry. So, vagina, cervix, uterus. Alright, same thing here. This is the cervix, alright? Alright, your uterine fallopian tubes, you see them better right here. Your uterine tubes, or fallopian tubes. Right here, since the baby's bigger, they're more flat and stretched against the uterus, just because it's bigger. Your ovaries are, again, they haven't changed, they're these yellow structures. Right here, anywhere you can see them. Right? These are your ovaries. Your broad ligaments, you're going to see them best on the smaller guys. They're these white wing flaps here. You know, like broad wings. So, broad ligaments. Your uterus, mentioned that, it's here. You have your myometrium, which is the lighter outer layer. And then endometrium, a Latin prefix for inner, is the darker reddish inner layer right here. Okay? So it's this one, just think of the darker inner layer. And this one here too. This one you can see really good the difference between the two. Okay? Alright, your placenta, you have two parts of it. This purple part is your placenta. The maternal part of the placenta, okay, you can see the uterus, right? And then, so whatever you see that's still part of the uterus, kind of, even though it's all part of the uterus, that's your maternal part. This part is in contact with the baby, so think of that's the fetal part because it's in contact with the baby. Alright? So fetal part of the placenta, maternal part of the placenta. And that's attached to the umbilical cord, which is also right here. That's your umbilical cord. Alright, the difference between an embryo and a fetus. Alright, these two guys will be embryos, and these two will be fetuses. So if you just want to memorize it that way, sure. But the technical difference is after 10 weeks, it's now considered a fetus. So this says 2 months is like 8 weeks, and this is 3 months, which is like 12 weeks. So like the cut line is between these two guys. So these are fetuses or feti or whatever they're called, and these are embryos. Your anion is this white layer on the inside. Sorry, not anion, amnion. So if you ever saw WALL-E, that big white ship, it was called the amnion. That's this.
I need to go.
So the amniotic cavity is just the space inside it. So amniotic cavity is the space inside. Your internal os is this little space between the cervix and the amnion. Like you see that little gap right there? That's the internal os. And then your round ligaments are these little horns that are on the back. And I like to think of them as horns because they're evil during pregnancy and during periods, because they're what connect to your back and cause women to have back pain during pregnancy. That's why you always see pregnant women like, and that covers the pregnancy sign.